If you look at what's happening with gold right now and treasuries, there's a inverse correlation. Gold is being increasingly held by central banks. Maybe gold is that canary in the gold mine for all this. And actually, we're predicting, I'm not sure what your stance on silver is, that silver's going to make some pretty momentous moves. You know, we're talking $300 silver. I always ask myself, if you're going to get to those kind of valuations, what's the context of the world around? Exactly. What's crypto doing? You know?
I love silver. Love gold too. So I always recommend people have like 3 to 6 months worth of capital held somewhere that's kind of like their emergency fund. And so for the last 4 years, I've held all of my emergency fund in gold and silver and actually just liquidated all the gold that I had and swapped for crypto when we crest like 3,500. Because I do think that there is going to be a pullback. I think you're going to see somewhere around $2,000 or $2,100 gold when all of this actually kind of plays out. But again, back into a bull market after that, maybe even repriced after that if it is used and pegged to gold in some capacity to back currencies. But with silver, it's interesting because look at the gold to silver ratio. Historically, it's like a 40-1, and that would put silver very close to what the numbers you just talked about. And we're just now cresting $40. You know, back in the 80s, we had the Hunt brothers, do the silver squeeze and push it to $50 a piece. And since then, it's been in a prolonged bear market, actually suppressed by JP Morgan and many others that are able to spoof the market and have been fined multiple times for doing so. But you have to also think about production globally and how much silver is used in different capacities. I mean, your cell phone, solar panels, there's many other goods that require silver to actually function in the way that they would like them to. And economically, if silver were to move to those valuations, you would need to replace that component across a ton of different hardware with something that was the same level of efficiency, but cheaper. You've got graphene, coming onto the scene here and a lot of companies working on that. I think that could be a replacement, but we're not there yet for silver. And so for it to move to those prices, I think it would cause mayhem across production and economically, for multiple applications. So I think that $100 silver is very reasonable, but I'd be hesitant to call for anything higher than that just because of the constraints that I just mentioned.